Vine squinted her eyes and got up with a disappointing face when a ray of sunlight hit her face. She sat on the bed by stretching her body with half-open eyes. Then she picked her phone from the table to check the time, but her eyes widened when she saw the time. Oh my god, now what am I going to do? I was working on my file last night, but I don't know how I fell asleep. Now what do I say to Mr. Shaw? He already gave me a lot of excuses. If I go to him and tell him that I still haven't finished it, he will surely punish me. The whole office will know about it. How embarrassing that would be. God save me. Jungkook gave her an important task 2 weeks ago and gave her a week to finish it. But she couldn't finish it in a week, so she asked him for a few more days. So he gave her another week, but even then she did not finish it. Yesterday evening he asked her to submit her file, but she brought the file home saying she would definitely submit it tomorrow, but nothing went as she planned as she slept like a cat. Vine worked at John Enterprise. She had a slight crush on John Jungkook, the CEO of John Enterprises, but she did not know why he hated her so much. Whenever I saw her relaxing with her friends, he would call her and give her some work. Vine panicked and ran into the office fearing that he would have already arrived, but luckily he had not yet. She let out a sigh of relief before walking over to her chair. Good morning, Vine. Luckily Mr. Shock is late today, otherwise he would have swallowed you alive by now. However, today he is going to swallow me alive. There is no escape. Why? What happened? Because I couldn't complete that project. Still? Yes. While Vine and Sana were talking, Jungkook entered into the office, gaining the attention of the employees. Everyone bowed and greeted him while Vine was drowned in her thoughts, thinking what excuse she should make. He noticed her and walked over to her table. Should I greet you, Miss Vine? He asked while poking his inner cheek with his tongue. Good morning, Mr. John. He stared at her without taking his eyes off her, which sent shivers to her body. In my office now, and don't forget to bring your file. Saying that, he walked straight to his office. The moment Jungkook left, Sana went to Vine. Vine, don't worry, I have an idea. See, Sir won't check it right away. He will take some time or a day to check. So I will give you this file. You just submit it on his table. We will replace it with your file tomorrow. She said, handling the file to Vine. Yes, that is a good idea. I will take it for now. She then took the file and went to Jungkook's office. She knocked on the door and was welcomed by a cold voice. Fixing her gaze on the floor, she walked straight and placed the file on his table and was about to leave, but his stern voice stopped her in her tracks. Did I ask you to leave, Miss Vine? She bit her tongue and stood motionless, not daring to turn to him. Come here, he commanded. She panicked and slowly stepped towards his table without raising her head. Open the file. Let me check if there is anything you need to change, because there are not many days left for the meeting. Everything should be perfect. That was said. Her breath hitched. She couldn't open the file as her hands were already shaking. When she did not open the file, he raised his head and looked at her. Why are you standing so far? I won't swallow you. Come here. She slowly moved closer to him with a pounding heart. Do it fast, I have other work to do, he said while checking other files on the table. Oh God, please save me. She slowly raised her head and looked at him. Mr. John, there are some changes in the file. I will go through it and will bring it back to you soon. He put the file he was checking back in its place and pulled his chair near to her. He took the file from her hands and opened it, but the moment he noticed it wasn't the file he asked Vine to finish, he stopped his actions and glared at her fiercely. She inched back, seeing the horrified look on his face. What is this, Miss Vine? This is an old project file. Where is yours? He raised his voice slightly. Mr. John, He leaned back in his chair and looked at her. You what? I couldn't finish it. Sorry, Mr. John. He went silent, very disappointed by her response. So she tried to fool him with the wrong file. Did she think he couldn't recognize it? He gave her 2 weeks, but she not only failed to finish the project but also tried to cheat him. Okay, you couldn't finish it. Everything is fine. But his eyes went to the file. What is this? The way he looked at her with his big round eyes, she was scared. He looked terrifying. Mr. John, it was It was by mistake, huh? Her eyes met his icy gaze. She swallowed hard before saying, "Yes, Mr. John." "Stop lying, you," he seethed. "Want to trick your boss and work? Do you know how disrespectful that is? I gave you 2 weeks' time, Miss Ryan, but you showed me your respect. I could fire you right now, but I won't do it now. And of course, you have to make up for what you did." Saying that, he went to the cupboard and brought 2 more files. She had never tried to fool him. Today, she did it out of fear that he would scold her because he gave her 2 weeks' time. So she thought he would get so mad at her if she asked for one more excuse. That is why she did that, but it turned out like this. She wasn't trying to cheat him. She would have replaced the correct file after she was done, but before that, everything went terribly wrong. He threw them on the table. "Go ahead and finish it along with that file. All these 3 files should be on my table before 9. Otherwise, be prepared to lose your job." His voice icy. "Mr. John, please. No excuses. Go and start. Now it's 10 o'clock and you only have 11 hours left." She then took the files in her trembling hands and left. Jungkook slammed his hand on the table after she left. He was angry. He was angry because she did not tell him the truth. He would not have said much if she told him the truth, but instead she tried to fool him, which enraged him. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she left the office. Sana noticed Ryan and she immediately walked over to her. "Ryan, what happened? Did he check it? Why are you crying? Did he find it?" But Ryan wasn't in a state to explain anything. She just walked straight and lay down on her table as she started sobbing silently without making any sound. Sana felt bad because it all happened because of a stupid idea. She went over to Ryan and tried to calm her down. "Ryan, I'm sorry. This all happened because of me. I never did it with bad intentions. I only thought of helping you. But I'm extremely sorry. Please don't cry." Wiping away her tears, she raised her head and sat facing the computer. "It's okay. It was my fault too. I should have thought well before doing it. It would be fine if he scolded me, but he said he would fire me if I did not submit these files before 9. I know very well that he hates me, but why? What did I even do to him? Has he never smiled in his life, always keeping his face like a pig? I don't know how his parents even live with him. Maybe he scares them with his big round eyes. Yes, it should be like that. If not, who will stay with him?" I feel very sorry for his parents because we get at least 2 days off, but his parents always have to deal with him. Seeing his big face every day is torturous. It was clear that Ryan was saying all this out of anger, but Sana couldn't control her laughter at the funny expressions Ryan made while teasing him. "I'm serious, don't laugh. Sorry to say this, but you have already fallen for your charming pig." She rolled her eyes in annoyance at what she said. "It is impossible to finish 3 files before 9. What do I do now?" She needed this job very much right now. She was well by a good environment, good friends. She loved working here. Everything was good here except him. But she couldn't lose this job. "Ryan, let's talk to our manager. He will surely help you." "No, Sana. By doing this, we will only put our manager in danger." She remained silent, not knowing what to say. "Okay, then let me help you." As soon as she said that, she felt someone behind her. She turned around and flinched when a deep voice roared in front of her face. "Am I paying you just to chit-chat with your friends, Miss Sana?" "No, Mr. John. I'm sorry. Get back to your work." His voice harsh. She bowed and went to her table. Meanwhile, Jungkook stood staring at Ryan. Actually, he saw her crying on camera, so he came to check on her. "Haven't you started working yet?" This time his voice was soft and calm. She did not raise her head. Without giving him any answer, she started working. He felt bad when she ignored him like that. Then he left from there. "Well done, Jungkook. Well done. Now she hates you." He walked back and forth, scolding himself for what he did. "You should not have behaved like that to her. It was all your fault for putting her through so much work and pressure. But I gave her 2 weeks. Is that not enough?" He let out a long sigh before settling into his chair. Jungkook knows Ryan has a crush on him long ago. He found out about it when everyone in the office started whispering her name whenever he walked past her. First, when he heard all those things, he wasn't sure about it, but He always loved when they called her by his name. Something tickled him when they did that. But then one day he overheard a conversation between Vayan and Sana. Vayan, even though you make fun of him, I know that somewhere inside you feel something for him. Yeah, there is nothing like that. Come on, Vayan. You don't have to lie. Your eyes don't lie even if you do. I can see it in your eyes. I think you hit your head somewhere. We have to work. I must go now. You won't say, right? Then it's okay. I will show this when Mr. John comes. Sana said, wiggling Vayan's secret keychain in her index finger. Vayan panicked and tried to grab it from her, but Sana did not give it to her. It was Vayan's secret keychain with John printed on top of her photo. Sana, stop playing like this and give it back to me. No, today I'm going to help you confess your feelings to Mr. John. Sana, stop. Someone will see it. Stop. I'll tell him myself. Please stop, she said, and Sana stopped running. See, I know that, she said, smiling as she walked over to Vayan and handed her keychain. Vayan blushed and hit her shoulder playfully. So, why are you waiting? You should tell him soon. No way, I can't. I won't. I don't think I'm his type. He will definitely reject me. Ever since he came to know about this, he started falling for her more and more. At first, he was also attracted to Vayan, but then he fell hard for her when he found out she had feelings for him. Later, he started being so possessive around her. He did not like it when she talked to male employees, especially Minho. He would always get jealous when he found her with him. Whenever he found her with him, he would always call her in his office and give her some extra work. Vayan, how much did you complete? She let out an exasperated sigh before saying, it is only 50% done. I'm sure I won't be able to finish before 9. Vayan, this all happened because of me. I feel so guilty. I want to help you. Please allow me to help you. No, the working hours are already over. You must leave now. It's okay, don't worry about me. However, I'm happy to leave this torturous job. No, Vayan, I don't think he will fire you. I think he likes you too because he has been acting weird towards you all these days, calling you to his office often when no one except his secretary is allowed inside his office. Why? Why does he only call you in his office? Why not others? We are also an ordinary employee working just like you, but I don't know, Mr. Shock has always been treating you differently from us. Vayan rolled her eyes, uninterested in her talk. And you like him too? No, not anymore. I hate him. I hate him so much. Hey girls, shall we leave? He said, walking towards them. We can't. Vayan will be here until 9. What? Why? It's all because of me. Then she told him everything. Oh God, why is he like this? Is his heart made of stone? He's a heartless monster. Sana, come, let's help her. It's getting late. No guys, you should leave. I'll manage. How do you expect us to leave you alone till night? We will be here until you finish your work. We will work together. Saying that, he took a seat next to Vayan and Sana sat on the other side. Then 3 of them started working together. Meanwhile, Jungkook watched them to the camera while clenching his fist. He felt like throwing a few hard punches until Minho's nose. Why does he always come between us? I have to throw him out of my office. Such an attention seeker. Just fooling her with his fake care. Unable to see her next to Minho, he got up from his chair and walked over to them. You two haven't left yet, he asked with a poker face. Mr. John, we are waiting for Vayan. We will leave once she finishes her work. You don't need to worry about her. I will drop her home safely. You two can leave now. No, Mr. John, we are not leaving. We will leave with Ryan, Minho said, staring straight into Jungkook's eyes. He closed his eyes in annoyance. He wanted to be with her, but this Minho guy would not leave them alone. This is your boss' order. You should leave now. Okay, fine, Mr. John. We will leave, but with Ryan. Ryan, come on, let's go to my house and work. I will bring you to the office at 9. Ryan did not know what to do, which side to take. Minho's side, of course, but she was afraid of disobeying her boss. Ryan, what are you waiting for? Take your things and come with me. She looked at Jungkook, who was already looking at her. Then Minho spoke again. Ryan, are you just going to stand like this? She shook her head. Then come fast. She will not come with you. She will work from here. I only asked you two to leave. Mr. John, I don't know what your problem is with her. All you need is to complete these 3 files before 9, right? We say we will submit it by 9. Then what's your problem wherever she works from? All you need is to complete these files. I can take care of her work if she works here. I can guide her if she does something wrong. But what will you do? If she did something wrong, she would have to work again. Sana understood the matter while both were arguing. She understood what Jungkook needed and she stopped both Jungkook and Minho and spoke in between. Yes, Mr. John was right, Minho. If Ryan made any mistake, she should do it again. Why should we risk it? She's already so tired. We should leave Ryan here and we will come and pick her up at 9. Minho and Ryan both looked at Sana in disbelief. Ryan raised her eyebrows in confusion. Just a few minutes ago she was saying that she couldn't leave her alone, but now all of a sudden she is saying this. Sana, what? Let's go. Before he could say anything, Sana dragged him out, leaving Ryan dumbfounded. Ryan gasped before turning back to Jungkook, who gave her a soft smile when she looked at him. Shall we start? Yes, Mr. John. She couldn't look him in the eyes. She felt very nervous as she was alone with her crush. But wait, doesn't she already hate him? How much did you finish? I have completed only this much because I had so many doubts and I was afraid that I might ruin something, so I stopped with this. She showed the screen on the computer until she finished. He shook his head as he pulled up a chair and sat next to Ryan's chair. Ryan did not sit there wondering what to do. Should she sit next to her boss or stand? Then Jungkook looked at her. What are you thinking? Come and take your seat. Then she reluctantly sat next to him. He was sitting so close to her that she couldn't focus on the screen at all. All she could feel was her racing heart, his manly scent, and his hand brushing hers. You did not understand this plan. Yes. Well, let me explain. He then started to explain to her, but Ryan couldn't focus. Her eyes were focused on the screen, but only his thoughts were going through her head. She did not listen to anything he explained. Do you get my point? Yes. She shook her head fastly. Hope you can work on it now. Feel free to ask me if you have any other doubts. She nodded, thinking that he would leave, but he moved his chair away from her and sat there. Why is he still sitting here? Won't he go to his office? What happened? Nothing. Although she did not understand anything he explained, she started working to avoid this awkwardness. Minutes passed. Ryan had many doubts as she did not listen when he explained, but she did not feel comfortable asking him. Without turning her head, she looked at him slowly in her side eyes, but her breath stopped when she noticed he was already looking at her. She immediately looked at her computer, her heart pounding in her chest, her hands shaking. A wave of fear and nervousness shot through her. He smiled at her nervous expression before pulling her chair over to him. Her eyes widened as he pulled her to him. Her body tensed up. Now you can watch me all you want. He lifted her chin and said, I did not see you. she said, lowering her gaze to her. He chuckled before speaking. I have been watching you for a while. What's going on in your head? What are you even thinking? What makes you so nervous? I'm not nervous, she managed. Then why don't you look me in the eyes and talk? I I want to use the washroom. He let out a chuckle before nodding. Are you crazy, Sana? Did you hit your head somewhere? Why did you do that? For God's sake, tell me now. Calm down, boy. There is nothing to worry about. I won't do anything without a reason. First, tell me. I don't know how you will take it, but this is the truth. Ryan likes our boss. I found this out a long time ago and I also confirmed it. Ryan admitted that she likes him. To your surprise, our boss also has feelings for Ryan. Did you see how he argued with you to keep her there? It is now clear that you have hit your head somewhere. Seriously, Sana, do you think he likes her? Then why does he give her so much work? Why does he make her work so much? Is this how he will express his feelings to someone he loves? Then you never noticed his behavior towards her. Even after giving her so much work, he did not force her to finish it quickly, did he? He has always been so patient with her. Why do you think he gives her so much work? Because that is just an excuse for him to see her and talk to her. Our boss has always been a weird fellow, but I can tell he has feelings for Ryan. I'm sure of it. You keep blabbering. I will go and bring her home. He was about to leave, but Sana pulled him back by his wrist. Minho, please. Ryan must be living her dream moments there with her crush. Don't separate them. Stay calm. She will be back in a few hours. If Ryan asks me why I did not come to take her home, I'll put all the blame on you because it is true that you are stopping me right now. If she gets mad at me, I won't hesitate to blame you. Keep that in mind. Yeah, be thankful. I saved you. What would she be doing with him now? Should I ask her? But what if they were sharing that right now? Oh no, Sana, don't ruin their moment. Just leave a text message and wait for her reply. As Jungkook was waiting for Ryan, her phone vibrated which caught his attention. At first he did not pay much attention, but suddenly something caught his attention. He bent down to her phone and read the message on the notification that appeared on her lock screen. Hey Ryan, how's your night going with your charming pic? Are you enjoying it? Did I disturb you? He read the message and the last sentence brought a smile to his face. He then looked at his face on the phone. Do I look like a pig? Wait, what did she say me on her phone? Pig? Then he took his phone and called her and it appeared as Mr. Shock. What? Meanwhile, Ryan got inside the washroom and looked in the mirror before placing her hand on her chest. She breathed heavily as a bead of sweat fell from her forehead. Oh my God, why do I feel this way? I don't want to go there. He makes me so nervous. Why did he make me stay here? I would have gone to Minho's house and worked. But this idiot Sana left me here. But why is he behaving differently now? The way he looked at me at that moment, her heartbeat did not slow down at all. But Ryan, you have to go now. Then she washed her face and left. When she came back, she noticed Jungkook holding her phone. Her eyes widened. Then she sat down on her chair and slowly took her phone from his hand. Isn't taking other people's phone without their permission a bad habit? Isn't it a bad habit to give people a bad nicknames without their consent? It shook her. What? Do I look like a pig or a shark to you? That was Mr. John. No, it's Mr. Shaw. Mr. John, you're such a thief. Why did you take my phone and use it? So, aren't you a thief too? He said, bringing his face closer to her. Why? What did I do? What did you not do? He pulled her chair closer to him. His face was only a centimeter away from her. She could feel his hot breath on her face. Her body trembled when his cold, big hand touched her face. He stole my heart, my mind, my soul, my everything, Ryan. Shivers ran down her spine when she heard such things from his mouth. She was so shocked to hear all that. She did not know how to react to that. Did he propose to her? She wasn't dreaming, right? What should she say now? She got nervous not knowing what to do. Why are you silent now? Say something, Ryan. He kept looking at her without taking his eyes off her, which made her so nervous. Mr. John, I will be back now. She quickly got up from her chair to escape from there, but before she could move away, he pulled her into his. She gasped. Mr. John, what are you doing? Leave me. He chuckled before speaking. Trying to escape, he said, burying his face into her neck. She shivered. Let me go, Mr. John. I need to use the washroom. But you just came back from there. But Mr. John, we have to get back to work. Let's see that later. Now I have a very important matter to deal with. Her breath quickened. She started to struggle to get up, but the next thing he said sent shivers to her body. Stop moving and sit quietly if you don't want to bring yourself trouble. He smiled and took her hands in his. Her palms were sweaty. Why do your palms sweat so much? Am I making you too nervous? Ryan, he called softly, his voice serious, no longer playful and naughty. I wanted to tell you this long ago, but something always stopped me from doing it. But today I'm not going to let this opportunity slip away. Her heartbeat quickened as he gently squeezed her hand into his grip. I know what you feel for me. Her body tensed when he said that. But I also know that you don't feel the same way about me now. You hate me now, don't you? She listened to him quietly without answering. I used to torture you by always calling you to my office and asking you to do this and that. I bothered you so much. I did not do it to bother you. I always wanted you to be by my side. And seeing you with Minho made me jealous. You two were so close and I did not like him being with you. That's why I put you to work. So you two can't spend time together and I can have you in my office most of the time. Hearing that, a smile crept across her lips. I know I'm selfish to do that. I made you hate me by doing this. I'm sorry, forgive me, but I love you. I can't see you with anyone. You're only mine, Ryan. Saying that, he hugged her from behind. She fit perfectly in his arms. He could feel her heartbeat quicken. Bringing his face close to her ear, he whispered, I love you, Ryan. She felt goosebumps when he said that. Finally, her crush proposed to her. She felt very overwhelmed by this feeling. He slowly turned her to face him. He looked into her eyes, but she couldn't make eye contact with him. Say something, Ryan. I need your answer. But she did not want to answer him soon, so she thought to play. But I don't like you now. I like Minho. She thought he would be sad, but instead he smiled at her. Really? But Sana said something else. What? What did she tell him? Wait, did Sana call me when I went to the washroom? Is that why he had my phone in his hand at that time? No, it should not be like that. How embarrassing it would be if she had said something stupid to him. Unlock your phone and see. She then got up from his. He did not stop her this time. He let her go. She then took out her phone and unlocked it. But when she read Sana's message, she felt like digging a hole and hiding somewhere. Jungkook chuckled at her reaction and approached her, but she did not sit there any longer. She just got up and walked out in embarrassment. Why stop? He said as he followed her. Stop chasing me, Mr. John. I'm going home. She started running when she saw him following her. If you want me to stop, then stop running first. No, I'm going home, she said, running fast, but he caught her in a second. Both started panting heavily. Ryan flailed her arms to free herself from his grip, but Jungkook pulled her dangerously close to him, making her freeze in place like a statue. Why are you running away? Why can't you accept that you love me? Don't you love me, Ryan? He asked in a serious tone. It's okay if you don't really love me. I'm leaving. He released her from his grip and started walking back. She panicked. No, Mr. John, stop. He chuckled knowing this would happen. Ryan quickly ran back to him and wrapped her tiny arms around him from behind. I'm sorry, Mr. John. I was shy to express my feelings, that's why I ran away. But I really love you, Mr. John. He smiled and pulled her in front of him. Can you call me Jungkook? Mr. John sounds weird. She shook her head. Propose to me now. I love you, Jungkook. When he heard that, he pulled her into a warm hug. His name sounded sweet from her lips. He pulled back and looked at her, his eyes traveling between her eyes and lips. She blushed and looked down, but he held her chin and made her look at him. Why, may I? He asked. She shook her head slyly, her cheeks already turning tomato. Then he gently pulled her